All right, from here, we're going to try something different. We're going to take the line tool, keep it on solid, and we're going to draw a solid line across our stage like this. Scrolling down, we're going to duplicate, we're going to click this two black squares overlapping. We're going to click that button and duplicate these frames a bunch of times. I'm going to go for about 20 frames, I think. Let's go 24, why not? Okay, so I've got 24 frames with this black line across the stage. Then I'm going to come back to my first frame. And let's keep with the line tool. And I'm going to draw a square. Now this is going to be that kind of scrolling platformer style game. In fact, we're going to base this on a game I know lots of you are very fond of called Geometry Dash. So in this one, my character here, the square, and you might like to draw a face or something on yours, but I'm going to keep it super simple, is going to kind of move into position, but then this square is not going to move from here for the duration of the animation. At least not in terms of side to side. Because what we are going to do is to create a jumping, scrolling kind of animation. If you don't know Geometry Dash, it really is a good game where you're a square and you have to jump on platforms and over a lot of spikes. So this spike is going to come scrolling through this page. So each time I'm drawing the square, that's not really moving, but this triangle now is going to come flying across towards our hero, the square. And these triangles don't have to be too uniform. And we're going to try and use one of the principles of the 12 principles of animation, which is squash and squeeze, or stretch and squeeze sometimes it's called. So we're going to get ready here. We're going to start to compress. So we're going to go slightly wider, but slightly less tall here. Just a touch. Up, but I forgot to draw the triangle. And then on this next frame, we're going the other way. So we've kind of, no, I need to do that differently. Let's undo that. So for this one, our next frame is going to be like that for our triangle. So we need our rectangle to be well out of the way by then. So we're going actually the other way on an oblong style, because we've squashed here, we've stretched out, we've flattened out, and here we've gone pop, and we've jumped up. And so for the next frame, our triangle will be underneath, and we'll have come back maybe to our original shape. And the triangle's moved on across here. And we're starting to fall again now. So as we fall, we go back to a kind of a stretchy rectangle. And then coming off the side again here, we want to be coming back into our original shape. That's the square. And then a little bit of this triangle just appearing off the screen. And as we land again, we're going to compress just slightly before bouncing back up to our square. Then we're going to draw the square a few times. And why don't we do like we're going to slow down we're going to do like a kind of slam on the brakes kind of thing here. So I'm just drawing the square over at an angle now, and redrawing it a few times before it comes back to normal. Now, you see that this is where we started, and this is where we've ended up. Let's run it and see how I need to fix it. So we jump. Okay, so it doesn't loop very well, but you get the idea, don't you? In an ideal world, my end frame would look more similar to my starting frame. And I think I might be able to fix that by actually changing my starting frames. Or I could do this. My end frame, I could duplicate that a few more times and then just have my animation just sat there. And we could perhaps start to move our way back over here. So that we end up on the same place. So let's see how that works. I'm not sure how this is going to look. So we've got the jump, we've got the compression, the landing, and then we kind of move back and start again. So it does loop now. We came back to find where we started. We've got the triangle, we jump over, we land, we kind of and go back to the beginning again. So the main things to think about here are something very simple happening. In this case, we've got a triangle that scrolls across the page, and our square compresses down, so it just squishes down a bit before it jumps up. And so all we're dealing with is, if I go and show the individual frames one more time, and let's turn off the onion skin so that you can see them one by one. We've got our first frame, second frame, not much change. These just change very slightly, as if it's kind of like warming up or getting out of its chair, if you like. And then we're fixed in space as our triangle moves towards us. Of course, there is no triangle moving towards us. We've just drawn our triangle at slightly different places. Now here's a big jump. From here, we've got the compression here. See here, we're more of a square. Here we're more of a flatter rectangle because we've sucked down, ready to spring up. And then boom, we jump from here to a rectangle on its side as we jump over the top of our triangle. Now my triangle came off the ground on each frame here, so that could have been better if my triangle had stayed more consistent to that line. My triangle kind of comes up to meet us a bit, but that doesn't matter because we still clear it. And as we come down, back to a square here, but then we squish for the landing and sort of spring back up again. And then we do this leaning kind of, we're like slamming on the brakes. And then a few frames, not much happening. And then just to bring it back to the loop, I did a couple of frames where I get smaller and move over to that bottom left corner, just so that we loop round again. Now you might like to make more things happen. You might like to make more spikes. You might like to have platforms that come across the middle of your page here, just like in Geometry Dash. You might like to have stairs that come up and your character jumps up the stairs. I think you could have a lot of fun with this, and as with each of these animations, there's no limit really to how far you take them, how much detail and colour you put in. I'm keeping mine super simple so that you can see the principles and you can see the process. Of course, you can watch these videos as many times as you like and have as many goes, and I can't wait to see the kind of thing that you guys are producing.